Heroin is the problem. I'm here to inform you about the heroin epidemic that's occurring in our own backyard of Staten Island. Heroin is overtaking this island. Prescription pills were always the way to go, were always the go-to drug in Staten Island. We were featured on True Hollywood Story in a couple of years ago for the use of prescription drugs were at a crazy amount in Staten Island, but a new database called the iStop database has caused people to stop using prescription pills, but has caused another problem now for Staten Island. The iStop database is for physicians and pharmacists, and they're there to just type in your information and you know every prescription history this person has had since they were a child, and it's all on the computer and it's all right in front of your face, that they were able to rule out all people who misuse these drugs and who don't use them in the right way, that they've gotten rid of this epidemic. But it started a new epidemic because people have started to go for the cheaper alternative of heroin. They've gone for this cheaper alternative because the black market skyrocketed because of the iStop database for prescription drugs, that people went to this alternative because it was cheaper, but it was more dangerous. According to the Staten Island Advance, over the past 3 years, fatal heroin overdoses have more than doubled on Staten Island, with the death rate higher than any other borough. Heroin is not helping people through their hard times like they think. Heroin is ruining this island and ruining that person. Staten Island residents and both Staten Island business owners are being affected by this epidemic. Great Kills is now known as the heroin capital of Staten Island. And the owner of Richmond Bagels, which is a deli on Staten Island, said that he has hired a security guard for the nighttime and has put in a whole new system of security cameras because he said it's ridiculous. He's in Great Kills, he's on Highland Boulevard, and he said these people are walking in like zombies. They don't speak to you. You know they're strung out. You know they're on drugs, and they either shoplift from him and steal things because they don't have the money to buy things, or they eat and end up falling asleep in his deli, or the cops show up and he's liable. They're going to search his deli. They're going to give him citations, and he doesn't want to be involved. So he just hired the security guard kind of to ward off these people, to just keep them out of his sight. But he also said he's known these kids since they were kids. He said that they grew up in good homes. He knew their parents, and now these kids are just strung out and not ready to do anything. There was a string of burglaries on Staten Island which recently stopped because the burglars were caught. They were two brothers who were both heroin addicts. They were caught because they broke the front window of the Portobello Cafe, which is also on Highland Boulevard in Great Kills. It's across the street from Richmond Bagels. And they stole the register. When the cops found them, one of the brothers had 16 envelopes of heroin on him. The mother even says she knows drugs has ruined them, and she thinks if they get off drugs they'll be perfect, but they're never going to be perfect because of the things they've done. They started doing drugs from the time they were teenagers. The stuff no one said was a bad thing. They said they started doing pot and stuff like that, and now they're up to heroin, and it's not helping them. The New York Times announced to the nation that 36 people died from heroin in Staten Island in 2012, all overdoses. And heroin seized by Staten Island cops leaped 200% from 2011 to 2013. Adam Lenner, who owns the Portobello Cafe, said to the Staten Island Advance that you see it all over the neighborhood. It's no secret that Great Kills is one of the biggest hotspots on the island for heroin use. Throughout high school, I used to hang out in Great Kills all the time because my friends lived there. My friends lived right by the Portobello Cafe, and they lived right by Richmond Bagels. We used to go to Richmond Bagels all the time. But it was nothing like this. It wasn't the heroin capital. I had great friends that watched out for you, and everybody was friends, and everybody knew each other. And now these people are zombies, or they're not there anymore. Because either people took the hint like I did and got out of there and stayed away from those people, or they're the zombies that don't even recognize me anymore, that don't know who I am, and it's disgusting. I was only a sophomore in high school when I really realized I was done. I needed to stay away from these people because these friendships are hard to mend because they weren't my friends in the end. We would be on the beach and all of a sudden someone would come walking out of the beach and they'd be strung out and you knew they were on drugs. And now those those people are either dead or they're even worse. And I realized I didn't want to be around that. I didn't even want to be around that environment, because now Great Kills is the capital of heroin use. When would these zombies realize what they're doing to themselves, their families, and this island?